How's everybody doing? Alright, I guess I gotta check everything out here.
Upon your specifications, Master. I trust you don't mind.
So, what was I talking about? Yeah, so I was fixing my stronghold. Or I was increasing it, and then I got bored. Primarily what I need to do is get a different blaster pistol, so today is gonna be I wonder what items there are. Tendering between matches. I just gotta get this whole relationship situation under control. I'm anxious to get a move on with my life, and I know. Alright, what do we got here? It's important. It's in everybody's best interests. To destigmatize online dating to whatever extent I was left. I'm telling you. When I went to college, the only people that were doing online dating was the gay community, and I know because my best friend in college, well, he came out of the closet my junior year, and what's the big difference? He hooked up all the time. Why? Because he's like social? No, I'm more social than him because he's more fun to be like in bars. No, not really. I'm like was able to hold people's attention much better, his included. It's because they don't have any concern about like meeting each other that way, and it just.
May the force be with you. All units.
Our traditional thing is like you only do Facebook, and it's everybody you already know, and everybody else, everything outside that bubble is unsafe and blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, you have to be safe. Totally, it's just not that safe. In fact, if you keep, it's like the most dangerous people or worst influences in your entire life might be people you already know. Maybe there's a higher percentage of people within your 100-person current sphere of influence. Than there is if you were to start picking out lottery numbers from the general population. I mean, common sense applies, but it's like, it could be so much better. People were willing to meet and expand their networks this way. I mean, otherwise, it's like, the people who make out best are these people who are really good at things like meeting brand new people in public situations and bars and things like that, and at parties, and just talking to strangers and things like that. And that's really kind of an obscure personality type. And there's quite a lot of psychological probing you can do from a distance.
Gun battery firing. Good work.
In online context. So anyway, it's like you get these people, so far it's like a really tired segment of the population sometimes that's already doing online dating, you know, it shouldn't be like that. It should be perfectly normal almost. It's not just for like whatever, you know, sexaholics or things like that. It shouldn't be. It should just.
We're taking turret fire. Need ground support.
An enemy is
I mean, why? Everybody's like, well, you should meet somebody at like a wedding or at, you know, or at church or at a reunion and blah blah blah, and it's like,
an enemy is unbeatable.
people that are the group of people that might well have been referred to you that way, but don't happen to be getting contacted by those events for you, which covers a very small percentage of the overall, is so underutilized in this process, in this matchmaking process. There is so much lost connection going on. It's because people think they're doing themselves this big favor. It's like, I want to say the average Facebook profile for my generation, say you're somebody that did okay with friends. I like to say I did okay through college. Could have done a little better, stuck a little bit with my work group as a young professional, and that's really kind of, you know, Saved by the Bell, the college years or whatever. I mean, you're supposed to be adding the roster, increasing the roster again that much more. You know, I think as a young professional, as you did in college, essentially, and I did okay. And I'd say I made it to that point. It's grown since, but like we're talking like about 500, 600, 700 friends, all right. And you're gonna look at me like I'm freaking Elon Musk here, but I think that should be somewhere more like 3,500 on average. And it's because people are not crawling like in like a spiraling. Their network is not continuing to spiral outward because of over this like cliquishness that it's a mixture of cliquishness, timidity, paranoia.
capture those weapons.
And I like bars. I think drinking's awesome and everything, and it's an important part of our culture, it's an important part of our society, or at least it has been my entire life. It's just the
Full retreat. Engines are not responding to.
the proposal here is for every one new connection you made through some kind of by leaping a chasm, a comfort barrier chasm of some kind in a bar or something like that fizzles out or has the purpose of a hookup and nothing else or something like that. You could be making like 3 real new connections as the day goes on, as the wonderful, exciting day unfolds. Before that even happens. And I don't know, there was a time, and I think it's gotten better as the new generation, the information age, the babies of the children of the information age have gotten older. But there was a time when you could not admit that you met somebody through online dating. And I think that happiness across the board is highly dependent upon that being a very normal way that people met. What's going on with my mouse? Almost every single... No, I don't want to talk about it, just because I don't want to say bad thing about any hardware or anything that is a manufacturer that could ever theoretically be a sponsor. I mean, I don't like to burn bridges. And I mean, and I know, and I don't want to blame, like, you know, some of the bad stuff that happened on people directly that are not being more adventurous or more, you know, wayward in that sense. But it's like, you know, the fewer, all we have to say is the fewer people left to become one with the internet and know the way their mind is going, like their mind finding pathways only through the internet. Only through the internet of things and not the social internet. Well, through the anonymous social internet, the non-interactive social, the non-interactive internet of things, better, that are left to just have that for their primary. Because the mind, and it follows bad paths, you know, through that thing. Sometimes you get people just sitting there furiously hammering out these insane diatribes. Indicting entire categories and non-existent stereotypical group sets of categories, communities within the overall population. And I mean, it has a calming. Socialization is like, it's like the importance. Right, if you take a dog, all right, and you chain it to the front yard and never let it inside, and give it like no, and barely ever give it company except just to go feed it and blah blah blah, it's liable to grow into something that indiscriminately like barks, that doesn't apply discretion at when and at what or whom to bark, and is prone to, you know, mistakes that could get it put to sleep and things like that. Whereas a dog that interacts with humans frequently and is taken to a dog park during its formative years or something like that frequently is far less likely to, I'm hypothesizing, I don't have, I mean, I'd have to run an experiment to get meaningful statistics on this, but it seems to echo common, you know, lack of wisdom, existing wisdom. Informed, scientifically informed wisdom. As I feared. It's my mouse. It's the actual mouse that needs to be replaced. And the thing is, and my oh hey, how's it going? Severe depression, how's it going? That troll name, I get it. Well, it's like, here you go.
Red alert! The coastline's under attack. The Empire is trying to establish a beachhead. All forces to the artillery emplacements. We'll need at least 2 to penetrate the enemy shields. They've captured a bunker of their own. Lose this battle, and we could lose Genova. May the Force be with us. Imperial troops are on
So besides always kind of having company and companionship as the aforementioned early adopters of these technologies could boast for themselves, they also get these like really powerful networks that are connected really in a very broad sense across, like, they have like some friends in the fraternities and some goddamn independents, and then the people that from the class of whatever that stayed together, and it's just like really, I'm having some serious problems with my mouse here. I mean, you guys are like, you're just
taking fire.
playing the mouse, but
Our bunker is taking damage. We need that artillery.
is unbeatable. An ally is unbeatable. An ally is unbeatable.
It's like, well, wait, how do you know them? You're not even that social. You're like a conspicuously normal, like average person. You're less socially inclined than I am. And yet, you are aware of where there are, you know, you have independently learned of five times as many parties as me this weekend, and people crawl out of the woodwork to say hi to you when we go to the bar. And you're disappearing all the time. It's just like, it's not because we are incapable people. There's no difference. We are more resistant to change, and we are, you know, on the whole, we are less technologically inclined. We are disorganized. And we're too prideful, ironically. None of those things are natural attributes. They are the result of performance after the fact of equality. Oh, got this. Oh, come on. I had that.
ally is invincible.
God persists even through defeat. It's actually a cool thing, way to say something that is from this game. I don't know where this game got it. For a class of biochem supplement that persists even through defeat. This effect persists through defeat.
Our bunker has been destroyed. The coast is lost.
An
Our
ally
forces
is
retreat.
behind.
We're landing an invasion force. The coast belongs to the Empire.
So it's not even through defeat. Gotta be frustrating for Valerie. Oh no, that's the other team. Who got? I'm trying to imagine who must have got unbeatable. Must be few deaths because they couldn't have died that many times if with such a stretch of not having died. It's usually somebody who kills without deaths, so it's rare that a healer does unless it was. I mean, this stat is eye-popping. 1,000,007. Starfighter. I guess I could do some Starfighter to try to make sure that I get more unassembled components I'm already getting. Forgot about that.